Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, Mr. Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, a very, I would say, intelligent and experienced diplomat, he is coming out and says it loud or loudly. In this case, he's saying something that I think for any, I would say, normal person with minimum 86 IQ would be clear. We don't have the 100% evidence, but it's like, I don't know, it's like, okay, I'm going to go to the next town. Most likely you're going to meet people over there. I mean, you don't have the evidence they're going to meet people over there, but most likely you will. You know what I mean? If you were, if you went around the block a few times, you know. So here is Lavrov, and he is cited by Sputnik. I know, Russian propaganda. Okay, move on. This is from October 11th, 2022, today. Lavrov says evidence abounds of US Western military fighting on the ground in Ukraine. It would be stupid not to be so, I would think. I don't have evidence, but I have some people who made the same claim, and one of them is a guy who knows a few things, and he is the US Army retired Colonel Doug McGregor, who said there are contractors on the field in Ukraine. I made a video about that, and he claims, well, just think about this: HIMARS, in order to have them work, you can't learn that in a weekend. He said you need experienced people over there with a lot of practice, and Ukrainians do not have it, did not have the time to do it. And he also claims, Colonel McGregor, he also claims that you need about, I don't know, 1,000 some tasks to accomplish before or to be able to figure out before a HIMARS missile is released or launched. So let's see what Lavrov says. The evidence that the military personnel of the United States and other Western countries have their boots on the ground in Ukraine is mounting, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Tuesday, and I'm quoting, "Regular servicemen of the American Army, as well as the armies of a number of European countries, are constantly working, quote-unquote, on the ground, including assisting in the calculations of the gun complexes, US-made HIMARS multiple launch rocket systems, helping to use them in a military hostilities," Lavrov told the Russian Rossiya 1 broadcaster. Well, the Americans said that they have over there, I don't know, about 5 months ago, they said that they have trainers or, military, how they call those guys that just go in, they just look around and they tell you what to do, but, So, but they don't, and I said, what, they're going to be over there and by a HIMARS, they're going to say, okay, Ivan, now you do that, and after you do that, you do that, and you do that. Yeah, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just, here, right here. And when the other guys are shooting at you, you don't do anything. You don't defend. You don't shoot back. You're over there, to help. You're just an expert helping the Ukrainian army to, load up the HIMARS and all that. Do you think so? I don't. I have the right to, and they said it. They said that this military, how they call them, trainers, and it was another term, I can't remember. They had in Georgia as well. They had in Vietnam. That's how they started with the Vietnam having, military, can't remember the name. Yes, got it. Military advisors, that's how it was. And they advise them. All right. So let's see what else Lavrov says. The minister emphasized that Moscow does not have a 100% proof on the information, but the evidence was multiplying and the West was starting to realize that they are going a little bit further than they intended. They have to do it because the weapons they provide over there, that's a lot of things that those guys have to learn in such a short time. It doesn't mean those guys cannot learn. I'm not saying that. You just need some time. You can say, well, by repetition. It's not really like that. It's let's say you have to release or launch a missile. First, the Ukrainians have a different alphabet. Let's start with this one first. Secondly, they have to learn to know English. Okay, not everyone speaks English on this planet, just so you know. And the third one, you have a system. You have to learn the system. It's not like self-explanatory over there. Push yes or no, launch, click, and it goes. No, that's a lot of things that you have to do over there. You have to learn, you have to go to school to understand the whole thing. And then it's not only learning the system over there, right? The tasks and what to do. It's different circumstances, different coordinates that you don't learn it after you launch 1 or 2 or 3. But you have to know the whole system. I mean, people who work in the certain kind of departments, they know when they work in a system how much training they have to have, like class training and hands-on training. It's not only theory, you need to practice on it as well. Where are they going to practice? 2 months or 2 weeks in United States of America? I don't think so. I mean, if that would be that easy, there would not be a, how should I put it, advanced missile system. You can't just with a joystick, or how it used to be, boom, boom, and all that with a little thing. No, those times are gone. So we find out that the Pentagon said that HIMARS rockets supplied to Kiev can reach Crimea. Oh, that's a good piece of information, right? So on February 24th, Russia began a special military operation on Ukraine, responding to calls. All right, but they say here that they could reach the HIMARS, they could reach Crimea. Well, it depends. If you push the front forward, then yeah, eastward, yeah, you can do that. But I don't know if that's accurate or not. It's just a little title over there. I don't see any evidence for that. But regarding military personnel fighting, I don't see why not. I mean, after all, the fight is not Ukraine versus Russia. It's United States, and it's, how do you want to call it? NATO? They're not allies, okay? I refuse using their terminology because that's so weasel. It's not. It's United States versus Russia using Ukrainian territory, Ukrainian people who are right there fighting Slavs with Slavs, and they have some other few countries in the Western Europe, only Western Europe, and maybe Poland, and maybe Lithuania, but I don't think they are involved, because if they're involved, they will receive some packages. So it will be impossible not to be at least some guys, and I said this a while ago, there should be, but maybe not right there, right in the front or where the things are hot. Besides the commanders, there are commanders over there, or if they're not in Ukraine, they're in Poland, or in the countries surrounding, so they are not shot on the territory of Russia, Ukraine, and then they're exposed and shown and all that. Well, as Lavrov said, there's no hard evidence. He doesn't have 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's going to come up pretty soon. Why? Because these guys will be more and more and more overt in being involved. They will send everything. They will send tanks. They will send airplanes. They will send everything. You'll see. You'll see. And they will find a reason to justify that. That's not hard, because tomorrow is Wednesday and we have to do that. Do you think they're going to stay and debate it with the Russians, why we should have or we should not have? What are you going to do? Nothing. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.